My dipshit.
Welcome back to Digi Bros.
Oh my god, my name is Dipshit. Here we go. I live little treats for myself, little pieces of humor candy.
Victor, it's been like a month since we played
this. Yes, it has. Wiggity
but
wow.
For the audience, it'll have only been a day since the last episode.
Oh god, you can't fast climb in this game.
And, in addition to that, it will have been a month since we recorded this that it goes up.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a whole month, like a 3-month sandwich. Like, the first 7 episodes will come out 2 months after they were recorded, but this one's only 1 month after it was recorded, assuming it's a whole month. Dark Souls is going to come after Ocarina of Time if we play enough of it. Yeah. And it looks like the game's actually running. I was worried Blighttown wouldn't work, because in the last video, it ended with it glitching out. But it seems to be fine.
This is going to be interesting because I just played through all of Bloodborne.
Was it the other one that hit you?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I was aware of what hit me, Conrad.
I was not. This is the difference between us and these games.
That I already knew what hit me without even seeing it.
So, Bloodborne. Yeah.
Yes, that has happened in the time we've been playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, in the time since this playthrough, that game came out and everyone played it.
Yes.
Our buddy Don-san, who I'm sure we talked about in one of these videos, had a PS4. So he bought it like on launch specifically for Bloodborne.
Yes.
He was ready a year in advance.
Since the fucking first leaked teasers of that fucking game.
Right, back when it was
just like we're hyped for every game.
Right. So, Bloodborne was announced.
Ah, shit.
Don-san got a PS4.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Played a few games on it, but
shit,
mostly he was hyped for that. He played through it in about 20 hours. Then Victor played through it in about 20 hours, 25 hours maybe. Then Shade played through it in about 20 hours. And in the meantime, in between
No!
Oh, mamacita. Oh, you're lucky they all decided to just stand there while you healed. Look.
You gotta know your enemies, man.
So, yeah. So then, somehow, I don't know how he did this, because, understand, Don-san works full-time. And he works till 9 p.m., right?
Yeah.
I don't know when the fuck he would ever find time to play video games, but somehow in between Victor and Shade playing the game, he managed to like get the PS3 or PS4.
He had already beaten the game.
Yeah, but he kept he's played like all the Chalice dungeons now. Yeah. He would like come over while you guys weren't home to our house while you guys had the PS4.
Passion for these games. Don't underestimate his ability to play them.
He'll come over while you guys are gone and just play them here. Like, he was playing the PS4 in your room while you were at school and shit.
Yeah, he was.
Like, just getting through all the dungeons and stuff like that. So, he managed to beat the game. He's on, like, New Game Triple Plus now, I think.
Dude, I watched him in, like, an hour. He got halfway through the game on New Game Plus in my room. It was fucking insane. Because he just runs straight to the boss, kills the boss super easy, and then just keeps going. It's incredible that it's like a brand new game and he's playing it like he's been playing it for fucking eternity, It's like, Jesus Christ. But, yeah, so he's already beaten the game like 3 times. It's been out for like 2 weeks. And that's in between loaning it to you and Shade to play as well. So, all this time that Bloodborne's been out, like, because I talked about, I think, in this show, that the reason I can't bring myself to play Dark Souls is that I know it too well, but I'm not good at it. Yes. So, like, even though I know where everything is, and how could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. That was a total fucking, just absolute fuck up, man.
Anyways,
that was a mess.
I know the game too well, but I suck at it, so I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it and get good.
Of Dark Souls.
But so with Bloodborne, I went out of my way, like really went out of my way to not watch anyone play it, right? Mind you, that's not easy at our house because like I want to hang out with friends sometime. Everyone was just watching each other play Bloodborne.
Yep.
After Don-san beat it, when Victor was playing through, everyone would sit in Victor's room and watch him play Bloodborne. And when he was done, everyone sat in Shade's room and watched him play Bloodborne. And I'd come downstairs and everyone would be sitting there and I'm like, I guess I'm not going to hang out in here because I don't want to see this game, right? So I'm working my ass off not to spoil myself. Game Grumps starts playing it. Not only are they playing it,
they're having such a good time.
Right, because it's like Aaron actually played through the entire game, so he knows what he's doing, and he's playing through, and people are all impressed, and it's clearly going to be like a full series. Like, they're going to play the whole game, you know? And I'm sitting here like, fuck, I can't even watch Game Grumps without spoiling myself for this game. I haven't watched Bunny Hop did a video on it, you know, can't watch his video. Good too. Yeah, so you've told me.
Yeah.
It's like all these people are doing all this Bloodborne shit, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking watch it, right? So finally the game gets to me, and I play through it for about 5 hours, and I'm like, fuck this game. I can't.
You suck.
Because not only do I suck, but the game has load times that are fucking insane.
Yes.
Every time you die,
there's
a 45-second load screen. You've died twice in this game already. I didn't even see.
Well, I mean, it wasn't perfect when it was on the console, but on PC, of course, the load screens are non-existent.
Right. Even on console, it was only ever like 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It says you died, you linger there for a second, you watch the enemies walk away, and then you spawn back at the bonfire.
It's a lot like playing Skyrim or something, where it's like you're really waiting.
In Bloodborne, you fucking die, and then you just look at a picture of the word Bloodborne.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad they didn't give you like lore text or anything.
Yeah,
I guess they
at
didn't
least
want to
Demon
spoil
Souls
well,
had lore text when it had its long ass load screen.
The thing with the items in Bloodborne is that there's a lot less stuff and everything is kind of significant. So if they showed you all the items, it would really have spoilers in it.
But like, it's still they could have done anything to make it more interesting than looking at the word Bloodborne for 45 seconds.
Fucking Blighttown.
Out of every 2 minutes. Because if you suck at the game like I do, you will spend more time dead than you will alive.
Yes.
You know? Like,
I definitely, towards the beginning of the game, there's a lot more of that. And then, like, I don't know if I just stopped dying or I got really used to the loading screens.
Probably a mixture of both.
I feel like they got shorter over time. Probably, like when your brain starts tuning out stuff that you've done repetitively.
Well, because that's the thing, like...
Oh my fucking god, this guy is determined.
When I started playing it, then, I quickly, like, the very beginning, you see all these shortcut doors, right? And you're like, okay, there's gonna be a million shortcuts back to this location.
Holy shit, I don't remember these dogs being here. What the fuck?
Because there's all these doors that are, like, closed by a device, closed from the other side, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have, like, a million shortcuts.
No!
So, I played through... Mind you, on my first life was one of the longest lives I had in the game. Because I'm playing, but I was playing super Solid Snake-like, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm like walking slowly, looking around every corner, learning the location of every enemy. Right. And like, because the first location is this, like, basically this super long road that you're going down. You go down this really super long road, and there's all these enemies and all these different patterns, and they're all walking around. It's an amazingly well-designed stage, right? Like, to introduce you to the game, to introduce you to the concept of, like, enemies are gonna move, so you gotta keep track of where your enemies are. You know, there's all these different ledges, different ways to approach each situation. And it all leads to this big bonfire where there's all these dudes, and you kind of have to, like, lure them each away individually and pick them off one by one, right? Unless you're, like, super amazing at the combat, then you can just run in and fucking fight them all at once. But, of course, I'm not, so I was trying to pick them off all individually and shit, right? So I very carefully, through a long process, you know, get every item, kill every enemy in this whole big area. Probably takes me, like, 20 minutes. And then I go to the next area, and there's, like, this house with people laughing in it, and this big dude banging on a door, and there's this place where there's 2 dogs walking around, and there's 3 people with another dog, and I can't figure out how to lure any of them away without getting all of them on me, and I end up getting killed there, right? So then I'm like, fuck, I didn't open any new passageways, meaning that I have to do that 20 minutes of solid snaking to kill every single enemy in the level again, because they all group up. All of the enemies group up right at the place where you need to go. You know, they're all grouped up right in front of the entrance. So unless you can run past them, which I eventually figure out I can do, then they'll all attack you. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm going through, like, over and over again.
Look at my leg! I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish.
I can't.
But look at my fucking leg.
I can't even understand what's happening. So, anyways, I play through. I do this segment. Oh, it's still doing it. It's still there. It's still like that. Oh man, good times.
Oh, beautiful.
I played through this fucking section over and over again, getting my ass kicked, and like, and I'll say this as well. I've only seen Bloodborne so far on mine, yours, and Shade's TVs.
Yes.
Our TVs are fucking garbage, and
They
we
really
need to
are.
play this on something. Because this game looks amazing right now. I
Well,
know it's
I mean,
because it's on
also, yeah, the
PC
DS fix
and
and
DS
everything.
fix. It looks unbelievably good.
Yes.
And so far, everything I've played of Bloodborne is just bright orange and bright blue. And I have a vendetta against blue and orange as like a thing.
See, I never noticed a bright blue. Because they have the orange sky, and that was certainly an orange
Everything's
choice,
very
but I would not
orange
say
and
blue.
to me. Everything
As-
I've seen has been orange
say
and blue.
There's a lack of. Well, you're also on the shittiest TV in the world.
Well, even on your TV, it looked like everything was blue in most of the areas. That part we were watching the Grumps play was definitely not orange or blue. So it obviously changes.
Yeah,
up.
that's like the
Right.
beginning of the game. So
But
it's,
I'm just saying, like, the only part I've seen is that,
yeah.
and it looks just kind of lame, you know, in my opinion. Just
I
'cause
mean,
it's
it's
just
certainly
like an orange and
like,
blue area,
It has a variety of areas,
right? But I haven't gotten to them yet. But anyways, I'm playing through this area over and
and
over
eventually
again.
the sky turns purple.
And then, like, after almost, like, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours of dying at the same part, like, going through the whole thing, getting every single enemy, killing them all, going through, and then getting killed by the dogs, I finally just, like, broke down, and I went to Shade, and I was like, Shade, I fucking suck at this game. Come watch me play and tell me what I'm doing wrong, right?
Yeah.
So Shade tells me
Let's
about...
go fight this hatchet woman.
Shade's like, well, if you want, you can just run past all of these enemies, right? So I start doing that. Like, I figure out I can just... There's like 5 or 6 enemies I have to kill on the way there. I can run past most of them and then just get right to the dog place. And I still die there like fucking 6 or 7 times, right? So I'm just over and
There
over
she
and
is.
over again, running back through this area, right? Finally, at long last, I find a passage back, right? And that was really cool, because this is the point where it's like I'm at a point I've never been to before. After I kill those 3 dogs and those 3 people, like I'm able to live for a while again, and I end up in the sewers, and it's fucking terrifying because there's all these enemies everywhere, and I'm like, if I die, I have to do the fucking dogs again, and I don't want to do the dogs again. So I'm running to the sewer. I'm like, oh my god, everything's scary, everything's gonna kill me, but I make it through the sewer, and then I open the passageway, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I opened the path. Nothing matters anymore. I opened the path. I did it. I beat that part of the game. It took me 2 fucking hours, but I opened the first path, right? So then the first boss is there, and at this point, I've already texted, like, at the same time I told Shade to come up to my room, I texted Donson and said, dude, I fucking suck at this game. Donson immediately came over to watch me suck at the game, right?
Of course.
So, and he was there when I got through the sewer and everything. So I'm on the first boss, and I fight it a bunch of times, and I'm getting pissed off because it fucking keeps killing me. And this is the point where I'm like, I'm out of vials, right? Because the first, like, 8 lives, I had so many fucking vials because the stage just gives them to you freely.
Yeah.
That it was like, oh, I don't even need to use them. Blood vials are like... I was sitting there thinking, like, it's going to be easy to keep 20 blood vials because they give them to you constantly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once you die 8 times, suddenly you have no blood vials.
Gets a little more complicated.
And so, like... So I make it through the boss, and the boss, after like 4 or 5 tries, I figure out he's pretty easy to kill, right? He's got a very easy mechanic to beat him. Beat that boss, and then I make my way to the second boss. And the second boss is super hard. But, like, it's the fact that every time he kills me, there's a 45-second load screen, then I have to run back to him, and if I don't have any of the fucking blood vials, then I have to collect blood vials on the way to the boss. So every time I die, there's like 5 minutes between me and the boss, and then he just kills me. And that's assuming I make it to him without dying, you know, which did not happen half the time. I would run, fucking try to fight some enemy to get blood vials from it and get killed and be like, well, there goes that 3-minute span.
Yes.
And it's like...
let me... Oh wait, I summoned Sunbrew before, right? I just wanted to make sure people know what I just did.
Yeah, you've summoned lots of Sunbrew. You summoned him for 2
Oh
fights.
yeah.
We even brought in an online guy
It's been a while.
we figured out we were online somehow.
Well, I summoned this woman now.
Oh shit.
She is my trap card.
Chaos bitch Kellogg.
This was like the most notorious boss in this game, I believe, when it first came out. It was like the noob killer. Yeah.
More than the gargoyles was Kellogg's?
The gargoyles were the worst for me because like I really didn't understand the like fundamental mechanics of the game at the time.
Weeks on the fucking gargoyles.
I wouldn't say weeks. I was like 21 hours into the game by the time I beat them.
This is like the hottest thing that ever happens in all of the Soul series.
That is true.
Is that girl's chest. That's like by far the most sexy thing that's ever been in a Souls game. Too bad she's also attached to a gigantic, disgusting spider monster.
Hey man, don't judge your spider monster. Ow.
Dumbass.
I forgot.
There was like a 20-second telegraph on that, man.
I forgot what the sign was for that.
So yeah, I'm fucking garbage at Bloodborne is the moral of the story. And when you're not good at that game, the amount of load time is way more apparent.
Oh yeah.
Because if you die constantly, then you're in load times constantly, and I probably died over 50 times in the 5 hours I played.
Yeah.
So if it is indeed, let's be generous and say it's a 30-second load screen, right? And 30 times 50 is a big number. I don't know what that number is, but
it's quite the number.
It's like 150, I want to say, and
yes.
if you divide that by 2, and you get what's okay?
Fuck.
150. What am I trying to calculate here? Wait,
no.
You're
not good at math.
30
That's the point we've gotten
That's
here.
25 minutes, right? 25 minutes I spent in loading screens if I died 50 times. It's a lot of time. 25 minutes out of 5 hours.
Yeah.
A lot of time. That's 5 hours I spent making what is probably 20 minutes of gameplay progress. You know? Like an amount of game that most people could just run through.
I wouldn't say most people.
Well, most people who are good at the
most
people who played the fucking game,
then you can probably run through it. Fuck. I mean, I didn't just run through all that shit.
Right, but
damn it, Kellogg's.
You guys are already good at Souls games, so like you already kind of know what you're doing, and I'm fucking garbage at Souls games because I can't.
I mean, I still died on the first boss and the second boss.
It's so hard for me to It's so hard for me to keep track of what I'm doing and what the enemy's doing at the same time. That's like my whole trouble with these games. Is like there's so many fucking things that you have to keep track of for yourself to do because you have a light attack, a heavy attack, you gotta dodge, you gotta fucking roll, you gotta keep track of your stamina, keep track of your health, keep track of your healing, and you have to watch the enemy and see what the fuck they're doing, you know?
Yes.
And all of that is more than I can keep up with. And dexterously, there were times straight up when I was fighting fucking Father Gascoigne in Bloodborne, which is the boss I was stuck on. There were a number of times where I was controlling the left thumbstick with both of my thumbs.
Why?
Because my left thumb would start to slide off the controller, and I'm trying to
go.
go.
Nasty, sweaty clam hands.
Right, I have super sweaty hands, and the thumbstick's like all like super easy to slide off of. And I'd be trying to like move myself backwards and to the left, and I just couldn't move my thumb in the right direction and keep it on the controller. And so I'm pushing with my right thumb and my left thumb to direct my fucking movement. And I was like, no one else is doing this, right? I'm stupid, right? I suck, don't I? And so, yeah. So I quit playing.
In the time it took me to put on my item to prevent getting toxic, I got toxic and had to use my item. Fucking mosquitoes.
Just texting me.
I'm gonna try real hard to run past these guys and get this thing. Do 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 do. Swag, 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 swag in a bag. No, no, the dogs.
Hey, I just got a text from Donson, and he says, watching Game Grumps. He says, watching Game Grumps while playing Bloodborne. Aaron beat that Father G in one try, bruh. I know he's played the game before, but you can do it. Maybe try again this weekend.
We believe in you, Conrad. We just want you to play through the game and appreciate it.
It's just so fucking hard! And the load times and everything, and I was hoping to get, like, more invested in it early on so that I'd want to play through, but like I'm so early in and it's already that hard, you know, like
that's what I'm saying. It gets easier as you go along though. That's how most of the games are.
It wasn't like that in Dark Souls for me though. Like the first time I played Dark Souls,
you didn't get far enough into Dark Souls.
I made it all the way to this place.
This is still the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but I made it here with I beat 3 levels with no problem, you know? Like You were on the gargoyles for the first week you were playing the game. I beat them on my first try the first time I played the game. You know, I knew what I was doing because I'd watched you guys play, and I had picked a pyromancer back when pyromancy was overpowered, and I had the Drake sword.
You bastard.
So
wow.
Yes,
yeah, I didn't have any of that shit.
Yes,
Oh no!
I knew what I was doing, but the point is that I got through so much of it all at once that I was already like, yeah, you know, but then I just never ended up finishing it because I think that was when the PC version came out, and so I started over again on PC, and then when I started over, by that point, they had nerfed pyromancy, so it wasn't as easy, and then I went to the depths and I got stuck on Gaping Dragon. So, and then I never finished it, but yeah, like, I was expecting to, like, beat the first level and then be like, yeah, because I've already seen the whole first level is another part of it. Like, that was in the demo that you guys all played.
Yeah.
So, like, I hadn't seen anything
that was the
really
only
new yet.
disappointing part of the first level for me is that I'd already been through it.
Right.
So it was just like...
So, like, my whole avoid all the spoilers because I don't want to know what's going to happen doesn't help if I know what's going to happen the whole
but you gotta
part that I'm stuck at.
What drives you through the game, at least for me, is that I want to see the next area so fucking bad that it doesn't matter if I die a million times.
Believe me, I do, and I still haven't watched Game Grumps. I still don't want to spoil myself because, like I said, I feel like the longer I don't know what happens in Bloodborne, the more I'll want to play it, you know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the same time, the whole reason I have this desire to see what happens in Bloodborne, is because I have so much respect for the Souls series.
Yes.
That I love Demon Souls and Dark Souls, but I don't feel like I can play them, you know?
I mean, but you could be like Tolentino, where he watches play and he's like, these games look really amazing and I love watching them, but I can never imagine myself playing it.
I mean, there's an element of that too, and I if I wanted to give up, I would say that, you know, I'd just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just watch people play it. It's obviously not a game for me, but like, what's bothering me is that I have so much respect for the Souls games, but Bloodborne and its load times hurt my respect for the game, because that's a problem. That's not just like, you know, everyone else is willing to write it off like, well, yeah, the load times suck, but it's a Souls game, so you gotta deal with it. And it's like, yeah, but it's a fucking huge blight on the game. I mean, even Yahtzee, who's a huge Souls fan now, who, you know, has now played through all 3 of the other games and played through Bloodborne, and he was like, you know, I love the game, but he straight up said that the load times were almost a complete deal breaker.
Yes.
He was like, this almost made the game unplayable, you know, and that's how I felt about it. I was just like, I have other things to do with my time than sit around watching load screens and dying all day in a game.
For me, it was at least I got to use the bathroom sometimes. Because I'll keep playing and I'll never take a pee.
Right.
Like, if it just keeps going, I'll never use the fucking bathroom. I'll never go up and get a snack because I'm just like, I have to keep playing. I have to keep playing.
It always feels, for me, it was always longer than I expected. Because, like, you die and you're, like, amped to get back in the game, and then you're just sitting there. There's, like, that 2 seconds after you die where you're like, ooh, I'm ready. And then you sit there and you're like, oh,
yes.
I'm now in a waiting
that
room
lets you,
to fucking play the game.
Calm down so you don't run out and get yourself fucking owned again.
I think you died is enough time to calm down. Maybe not for like Brando or something, who would often get mad and run out and get himself killed the first time he played Dark Souls. I don't know, man. Complex feelings. That's all for this episode of Digi Bros, by the way.
Yeah, it was all about Bloodborne ranting.
Yay.
Yay.